So the body is a warning system of signs and indications, signals from inside. The brain is part of that circuitry, the heart is part of that circuitry, and the nervous system is part of that circuitry, as well as the body has muscles and nerves and bones and blood and everything else in the body. So part of the system of awakening, being conscious and knowing what to do next because of what we're creating or not creating, and that is conducive to health, healing, and happiness. Our lack of practice, which is what we suffer more than anything else. Lack of practice.
So when we're in that state of sickness, is the object to
But when you're conscious of it, continue.
Yeah, so when we're conscious of it, is the goal to get physically healthy?
So
or
you can be in a state of sickness, whatever that means, as medically ascertained, but not be sick. Because you have the physical body as one set of, let's say, processes, and then you have the mental body, which is another set of processes. You have the emotional body, which is a whole other set of processes. They're not always in alignment, thought, emotion, and physical. And that's why the word in the Dharma realization training is integration, alignment. Straight up yoga, straight up now. From the lowest earth to the highest sun, say, straight up and down, that basic baby stuff. Just to conceive of that is to calm the body for some people. That they are the alignment. You are the alignment, but you may not be aligned as the alignment. So you need to align yourself as the alignment with the higher light and then the lower body, so to speak. Right? And the light is all pervasive, even into and through and beyond the earth. So the earth is a conductor of the higher intelligence and the light of the sun as well. And maybe the etheric level of the sun. The subtle reality that sustains the sun. It's not necessarily fire as we know it, or the heat of the sun, but it's able to manifest that because of what it is, see. As a conductor of heat, light, fire, energy, see. The sun, that's what the sun means. Transformer, an atomic radiation system, say, life-giving, which is burning out, supposedly going to burn out and become dead in 2 billion years, say, according to the know-it-alls. Professors and doctors of astrophysics, they know all this, so they claim. They know about the earth dying, they know about the sun dying, and the earth going away from the sun and peeling away and disappearing. There's a theories that they have. But they don't know when they're going to die. They have everything calculated but their own death. But they probably don't need to calculate their own death and probably don't want to.
it would seem like most beings consider themselves as in a state of living until they get awareness that the body is breaking down in a significant way, and then their awareness.
That's the warning.
Then they think they're dying. So what?
Well, they're always dying. We're always dying. It's a relative level of it. We're always dying. Our breathing is death. Exhalation is dying. Letting go, releasing. That's what ultimately happens. A final expression, release from the body, not as the body, but from the body. So you're going beyond the body as a container, as a limitation, as a body, for the self to inhabit and master. The idea is the self going to master the body? Or is the self going to suffer the body? And it's up to the individual intelligence to determine what suffers the body and what causes that karma of suffering, reaction, and chaos and distress, and neuroses, anxiety about being the body or being your mind, being your face, being your physical conditions, right? All that ails you, all of this kills people, can't handle it, we need to change it and whatever. And so we need to have a deeper understanding that we are spirit souls as well. That is a higher intelligence potential instead of just the emotional sort of agonies of an unhappy self. See, tortured by its delusions of who they are and what they expected themselves to be and or do or attain or realize and all of this. When you have the moment now of realization, right this second. Yeah, right now. Peace is now. Realization is present. Stop. Look, listen, and hear it. See? The light is present. It's whistling through the atmosphere right now. See? It's a living force of existence here on just in any planet where there's living beings or animate beings. All the planets have this as part of their sustenance. Their heart, their heart core, their orbit, see? Their destiny. And just because we're thinking, we shouldn't outthink what the other existences are like, you know, or pre-think, or just think we know. See? Assume. See? We can't just presume and assume we know anything. See? Until we absolutely know. See? And then when you absolutely know, you're silent. See? That silence is present. So that's the relief. Is to abide in silence. That's the relief. Yeah, it's the real answer. And the super question. When silence? Why silence? How silence? See? In silence. See? Already silence. See? Real silence. Peace. Whole body peace. Relaxing the whole thing. Resting in it, abiding in it. Not as a lazy sort of good for nothing, no. This is your rest point. Charge your body to do very intense work. See? Intense work. Practice is intense work. Selfless service. Wisdom for the sake of other peeps, see? By which they can attain deeper understanding. See, and come to terms with their destiny in terms of wisdom. What's the wisdom of one's destiny? What is the destiny of one's wisdom?